Welcome to another Bring the Juice Film Room breakdown. And today, I, Lawrence Owen, am going to break down Ben Banogu, the defensive end for the Indianapolis Colts that was picked in last year's draft. Now, Ben was brought in hopes to replace an aging Jabal Sheard. And last year, he showed some flashes where he might actually be able to do that. He's got a few moves in his repertoire. Now, he is not a Kamoko Toure type player. He's not the guy who's got a ton of bend off an edge. He's not going to be on the right side end looking to get blindside pass rush. His main job is going to be to seal the run on that left side and possibly get pressure on the quarterback when possible. Now, on this first play, we're going to show you what kind of recognition skills Ben Banogu has when it comes to certain plays on the field, especially those plays that you need to recognize very, very quickly, such as screen passes. So on this play, Ben, right here, as you see, he is lined up right outside the tackle and inside the tight end. And let's go ahead and watch this in full speed first. All right. So, as you saw, he was pushed inside. He got really close to the tackle. And then once he recognized this was a screen pass, he immediately went after Phillip Rivers because he knew that this screen was not in his direction. It was away from him. There was nothing he could do once the quarterback would have gotten rid of that football. His job was to get the pressure on the quarterback. The problem was Al-Qadim Muhammad was supposed to follow the running back, recognize the screen, and stop it in the backfield. Had he done that, Rivers would have had to look to somebody else to throw to, and Ben Banogu would have got a sack here. But let's watch what happens with Ben as this play develops. As it develops, Rivers brings a wide receiver in. You see him crossing out here. Man in motion. Linebackers adjust. Rivers takes the snap. Instantaneously, the entire offensive line starts moving to the left. Ben follows with him. He is going to try to stay right on the backside of this right tackle. He needs to. He knows that once his back is turned to Ben, he knows the guy that's responsible for him is this tight end. So he's going to try to stay as tight to this tackle as possible and stay out of the reach of the tight end. He watches, sees the fake, immediately sees the fake. As soon as he recognizes that this ball is not handed off and he pulls it back in, he turns upfield. Why? Because he has separation from the tight end. He knows, all right, all these linemen are going this way for a reason. All these linemen are going this way for a reason, which means this running back is going to come out here. He's going to do a little dump off. He knows he's got to get pressure on Rivers as quickly as possible. That's his responsibility. He has a free shot at him anyhow. There's no one there. So even if Rivers wanted to throw downfield out in this general vicinity, way out here, he still has an open shot at him. Him staying as close to that right tackle's backside paid huge dividends. Now, like I said, he doesn't have a ton of speed. He doesn't have a ton of bend, but he plays very smart. And he's got very, very long arms. As you can tell, he's got that other arm right now, his left arm, pushing up against the tackle or tied in to keep him off of him while he runs straight up. His shoulder is already inside. If you've watched any of my breakdowns, if I've told you, once you get your shoulder inside of a blocker, that blocker is beat. Ben Banogu has this tight end's block beat. Now all he's got to do is get pressure on Phillip Rivers. He comes up to get pressure, beats him. Looky here. You see, this defensive end should have stayed with the running back. Once he noticed he was let go, and you've got 3 blockers out here in front of a running back, he should have stayed with that running back. He should have stepped back, especially once he saw Ben with pressure on Rivers. He should have stayed back. That would have made Rivers look for a different receiver who's wide open, as you can tell. This would have been a huge play, but he wouldn't have had time. Had he turned and threw it downfield, he wouldn't have had time anyhow. But instead of the defensive end going over here and covering like he should have and making Rivers look to a different direction, which would have resulted in a Banogu sack, you end up getting this play. Banogu played this incredibly well and did everything right. Another player on the team didn't, and this play ended up turning out to be pretty darn good for the Chargers. Now on this play, we're going to actually see how well he is able to use any speed he can generate and turn that into power and show how deceptive his strength power to move players actually is. At this point, you can see he's playing the nose tackle position as Justin Houston is out here on the defensive end, which means he's going to be faced up against this right guard as Justin Houston is facing the right tackle. Now, in this play, he knows there is no one anywhere around the center. So the center could move left or he could move right towards him. So he's going to want to attack the outside right shoulder of this right tackle. Let's watch this play and see how it turns out. That was pretty impressive, actually. Now, as you watched, he was able to get pretty good jump on the snap. He didn't exactly do any kind of real fancy moves up front. What he was doing, and you watch both Ben and Justin, when they take off, they start swinging their arms, just like you would when you're taking off in a sprint. Try to get as much speed built up in a short distance as possible between the defender and the guard. There's the snap. There he's got those arms churning. Now, if you look, he's got this leg. He's got that left leg planted. He's trying to explode from that leg, using it, all that energy, bring it up through his body into his arm to explode right here on this right guard's right shoulder. And what he's doing, and he's putting as much pressure and explosive power on that right shoulder as possible to knock him off balance. As you can see, he's already got that guard's leg up in the air, which means he's got him. He cannot set himself now. Boom! Explosion. Bam. That was beautifully done. See, he gets inside, he explodes. Now he brings his arms in again. He already knocked him off. The guard got pushed back a little bit. Now he comes in, puts his arms inside. Now watch his leg again. Watch this leg as it happens. He presses even off his tiptoes. Even using his tiptoe, he explodes everything he had into that and pushed him completely back. That is absolutely strong. Because that's a guard. That's not a tackle. That's a guard. That's a guard. That's someone who is absolutely supposed to be able to beat you one-on-one power-wise. Especially a defensive end, right? Defensive ends ain't supposed to be able to outpower a guard. A guard is meant for power running up the middle. And Ben Banogu just used his speed to power, exploded on this guard, and pushed him an entire step back. Lifted him up off the ground. Look at that. Lifted him completely up off the ground, created separation, and now he's got a nice line towards the quarterback. That is a very impressive move to have in your repertoire, especially showing the kind of deceptive strength that he can provide even on the inside. He gets by that guard, starts to get pressure, makes Rivers throw that football before he was ready. And because of that, this dump off did not get nowhere near enough for a first down. Banogu has a very good speed to power burst for a defensive end. Now on this play, Ben Banogu shows that he knows how to set a blocker up during the course of a game. Right now we're in the fourth quarter, and during the entire game, he has been doing most of his moves as he's supposed to be, being the left defensive end. While he's on the field, he is trying to get outside edge for multiple reasons. One, he sets this edge. If a running play goes his direction, he forces it to go either outside or make him cut back in. But if he goes outside, if the running back goes outside, it means he has to loop around him. And that gives more time for linebackers, corners, safeties, and stuff to get up to make the play. If it's a pass play, it keeps quarterbacks like Deshaun Watson, who knows how to scramble, keeps him from going outside, makes him step up into the pocket rather than break out free to create a lot of extra time. Now let's watch what happens because of this setup of Ben Banogu always going outside consistently. Oh my. Oh. Whoo. That poor right tackle just got his shoes knocked off of him, right? Oh, wow. All right, so as you see, the running back, this play is supposed to be off tackle. Ben Banogu does a beautiful job. He gets right up on him and stutter steps to the outside, making the right tackle think he's going outside. And just that little stutter step, it wasn't a full, it was more of a upper body shimmy shake, to kind of make the tackle lean that direction. Once he leaned that direction, Banogu cut inside, completely making this right tackle lose all his balance. He falls. There's nothing he could do. He is beat. Banogu then goes to, in the backfield and makes his tackle for a loss. This is gorgeous. You can't set this up any better. This is what you do all game just for a play like this. Just for one simple play like this. And now we're going to get the snap. There's the tackle. Watch. He just shimmied just a little bit. Upper body. Watch. He goes, he's faking. He's going inside. Then he shimmies outside, then just barely cuts inside, and that tackle completely off balance. Banogu's in the backfield. He was able to shimmy him so nasty. It was almost like Barry Sanders ran right past him. Now, he don't have the agility or the speed Barry Sanders has, but for him to shimmy a right tackle is impressive. Just like in the previous clip where he outpowered a guard, here he actually used his side-to-side movement, just barely. Not a lot of speed or bend here. This was more in the head of that right tackle, make him think I'm about to cut outside, and just that little split moment of indecision of that right tackle killed him. Puts Ben Banogu in the backfield. Banogu just follows the ball. As soon as he sees it was handed off, he grabs him in the backfield. Big tackle for loss. Great play by Banogu. I think that this is a situation where under normal circumstances, you won't see this kind of a play happen very often where he shimmies and goes inside. But because this is the fourth quarter and he's been going outside and holding that edge most of the game, cutting inside on this, it was a risk, but it paid off big time. Now, as I said previously, Banogu does not have supersized speed. not Kimoko Ture speed. He does have a little bit, but he doesn't have any real bend, right? He doesn't have that kind of Kimoko Ture bend at all. But what he does have is long arms, good feet, and a very smart football presence. And he uses all three here in order to get good pressure on Joe Flacco. Let's go ahead and watch this play and see how this actually turns out. Nice pressure. Beat that tackle. Now, if he don't have the bend, how did he beat the tackle going outside? Well, let me explain this pretty simple. What he does is he comes in and he makes his break actually a little late. He kind of makes the tackle think that he might go inside, which stops him before he could get the outside edge. Because he needs to get him, if he's going outside, he needs to hit him outside and carry him all the way out past right around where this horseshoe is, right? Because Flacco doesn't have movement. The only thing he can really do with outside presence, outside edge pressure is to step up into the pocket and hopefully slip a tackle. But here, Banogu uses his hands with his little shimmy that he has in order to make the tackle miss this block. Now, he takes off as normal. Right there. Did you see? He planted that foot. He went inside just for a second, planted that foot. That made him flat-footed. That made that right tackle flat-footed here. All the tackle could do is hope, and he's not right up on him. He's right outside arm's reach. This was brilliantly done. This is a chess match. This is gorgeous. Just out of reach of this tackle. He's been lining this tackle up the whole game, knowing how far the reach is here. Banogu knows his arms are longer than this tackle's. So all he's got to do now is knock those arms out. Bam. Now, the tackle's not in position no more. All the tackle can do is hope and pray that he could push him out further. Because right now, who's in the horseshoe? Banogu's in the horseshoe. He's not. He's still in front on the side there. He cannot get the right angle in order to push Banogu out wide. Banogu, all he's got to do now is turn that hip, turn his shoulder, and get his shoulder inside on this guy's chest. That's all he's got to do. As I've always said, get his inside and then lean into him, and he's got that angle. No matter how hard he pushes, he'll have that angle to get up there, and he gets his arms up. Got his hand up, just tipped it. Now, if you watch this glove. Watch that white glove. You'll see it as that ball's hit. It flicked a little bit. That means he tipped it. He gets in, tips that football. Barely. It wobbled. One hop. Right to Kenny Moore. Made him pass before he was ready. So he didn't get the sack. He almost got the sack, but he got the second best thing, and that's a pass defense. And that's pretty good for any defensive lineman to have a pass defense. Very, very impressive. Shows again, he's smart when he plays. He's smart. He lines up. As the game progresses, he only is going to get better because he knows the tendencies. He knows what the limitations of the guys blocking him are. And he uses his arms and his side-to-side ability, all of that to his advantage. Now on this final clip, we're going to see Ben Banogu's ability to have field awareness and know the tendencies of other players on the field that he's going up against. In this situation, film work by Banogu was his best friend. Also, knowing when to separate from a block. Let's go ahead and watch this play, see how it turns out. There's a snap. He goes out wide. He's blocked out. Oh, wow. He got set. Oh, that's a sack. Looky there. All wrapped up. Mr. Watson down on the ground. Beautiful sack by Ben. Now, how did this play turn out? It's pretty simple. It's actually very, very simple. He goes out wide knowing, as I said earlier, his normal job is to make sure he gets that outside edge set so that the quarterback has to move up into the pocket. Now, Ben watches Deshaun as he gets that outside edge, knowing that he's going to feel that pressure and step up into that pocket. He times it. He watches Watson right at the right time, right as he gets to the edge of that, the top of his little curl, and watches. And as soon as he sees Watson step up, he tries to make this break. It's beautifully done. Beautifully done. Right here, he gets around, he fakes inside, goes outside like he normally does. Now you see his eyes are on Watson. He's got the outside edge. He knows that Watson knows he can't go this way because all he's got to do is come up. But he knows that he's got open space here because of how wide he went and where Danico Autry is. Because it's only a three-man rush. A three-man rush. Watson obviously is either going to go this way or this way. Either way, he's got to come inside. So right here, you see how he grabs the tackle's arms, shoves them out wide so that he can cut inside as Watson makes his break. Bam. Beautiful separation. Because of that length of his arms, his arm length is able to get that separation. That tackle wasn't able to get a good hold on him. Ben was able to meet him at the hole. Tackle for loss. Beautifully done. Oh my goodness. That is a sack for Ben. It's only a 1 yard sack, but it's still a sack. And that's how you play this side of the defense. That's how you play left end. You get that edge set, and then when the quarterback steps up into the pocket, you separate, you disengage. The only way to disengage is either with a spin. You can spin out of that, or you step away from him. Because if you watch here, I've said this before. Right here, if he steps away from the tackle and the tackle is grabbing him, he'll pull his jersey. That backfield judge will see that. Throw a flag instantaneously, 5 yard penalty. So he steps away from him. Rather than going inside, he steps out. Right out this way. If that tackle grabs him too much, you'll see a jersey pull. He can't do that. Ben's freed up. Beautifully done. Good separation. Good disengagement. Way to watch Watson, knowing exactly what his tendencies are and reacting to them. Ben Banogu is going to be a very good left end for the Indianapolis Colts. He was a rookie last year. He didn't do a great job. He played a lot of snaps last season. The entire season. I think he had 2.5 sacks on the year. He did a good job setting the edge, which is what his job is. Now, as the years progress, as he gets a little bit more experience under his belt, he'll start to learn more moves. He'll start to understand how the players play in this speed, in the NFL speed. He's going to get better and better and better. I honestly, because of his physical attributes, he has a chance to be better than the guy he is replacing right now. So I hope you enjoyed this breakdown on Bring the Juice podcast. I am Lawrence Owen, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Colts_law and on my own YouTube channel, Lawrence Owen. And until next time,